Hi, welcome back to Manly Kitchen. Now for this episode, we're actually having the Teen Girl Takeover series. And this is Giovanna. She's the oldest of my friends Roger and Fernanda. And since I've been visiting here, she has been my super helper in the kitchen. And she's actually cooked some of her own meals as well, and I've helped her out. So today we're going to do pot roast, and we're going to do this the down and dirty, easy way, okay? We are going to cheat about 6 ways from Sunday, but you know what? That's the way most pot roast gets made in America, all right? And we're going to do a nice roast with some carrots, some onions, potatoes. I like to put peas in mine. I got a can of those, and then we're going to serve it all over noodles, all right? So here we go. Cheater style American pot roast. Let's have some fun. Okay. All right. You can see I've already done the potatoes. Now what I did was I got big old baking potatoes and I cut them in half, and then I'm now going to cut into 4 longer sections and then down this way. And I like to have a good big bite. Now, I don't like little bitty pieces. I also don't like big pieces I gotta cut. If I'm going to do a pot roast, I want to be able to just fork it and go, okay? All right. So, get all that out of the way. Move it, move it, move it. Fast forward through that part. Okay, onion. Again, I like to have a nice good piece. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it in half and cut it in half again. And then I'm going to do big pieces. Okay? In half. The other thing you learn is that the less you cut the onion, the less you cry. So big pieces are good. Okay. All right, so now we have our bag. Can you guys see that? Okay, good. We're cool. We're using a new tripod. It's a little shorter than normal. I'm kind of freaked out. Okay. A couple of tablespoons of flour, and then you're going to close the bag and you're going to dust the bag. And for some reason this keeps the bag from like blowing up. Okay, I don't know, they just tell me to do it and I do. I'm actually a guy that does read instructions occasionally, and in the kitchen is one place that I do that. Okay, alright, next I'm going to take my roast. I'm going to put that in the bag. Now I'm going to flip this guy around with the flour. Get some flour on him. Now they don't tell me to do that. I just do that because I think it's a good idea. Just like when you do stew, when you brown your meat, they tell you to put a little flour on it. Okay? So, now we've got our roast in there and ready to go. And you kind of keep an eye on the bag for me, Joe. Put all this stuff in. Okay, next, I love baby carrots because in a recipe like this, it saves me from chopping. And just boom, in they go. Then we're going to take 2 bags of onion soup and dip mix. And we don't have to put anything else in there in terms of spices, not even salt. Okay?
Perfect.
And finally, we're going to put some water in there. About 1.5 cups. Just kind of running around. Now, I like to put my opening on the top. I do not do the side. There's a reason for that later. Okay. Tie it off, and now we have to poke. Come on. Big bag. Ah, there we go. Gotta have that psycho slice. Okay, you gotta have some holes in it to release the steam. All right? Now you'll notice that I did not put my peas in. There's a reason for that. Peas are very, very soft, and if you put them in the beginning, they're gonna be mush by the time it's done. So really what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until the last couple of minutes. I'm gonna open the bag, throw the peas in, give it just a few more minutes to warm them up. Now we're gonna put it in the oven, and we're gonna bake it for about 2 hours at 325, and we should be having dinner right about then. Okay, and into the oven we go, ma'am, if you would. Now we want to make sure that we keep this down and off of any heating element. Okay? Otherwise, what'll happen is it'll burn. There we go. And mark our time, and in 2 hours we will check our dinner.
Okay, I'll put the timer on here.
There we go. Okay, our last step, now that we're almost done with the noodles, we're going to pull this out, and we're going to open the bag up. So that we can put our peas in. Remember what I said, the peas are so soft that if we put them in the whole time, then they'd have just been mush by now. So all we really want to do is let them warm up for just a minute. Right back in, and we're good to go. Okay? All right, there we go. There's our big bag of food. Now, again, this is all about cheating. And just using the bag at all is cheating. Okay. Now we're going to cheat even more. Because we were going to wash this anyway, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put everything. Shoot, it's hot. Hotter than it's supposed to be.
Oh, it's better than being cold.
Absolutely, especially after cooking all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's not forget to turn the oven on, right? Okay.
That looks good.
Doesn't it though? Is that awesome or what?
I love how it's still boiling in there.
Yes, it is.
Look at the color on that meat.
Yep. And the only seasoning in the whole thing was the onion soup mix. Nothing else. You got a good broth. Everything's nice and done. Life is good. Now, all we need, fork. And let's see, okay. This one's still got enough density to it. Now see, if we had done this in a slow cooker, it would fall apart. But because we did it the normal cooking method, you're right, we're going to need some knives for this. We still got a little bit of pink in there.
Looks pretty moist still.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. We've got a nice bed of noodles. Now we're just going to get us a good piece of meat on there. And since this is mine and I know I want more, Well, maybe not. I'll come back for seconds later. And we just put some vegetables. And I do love my peas, so I'm going to make sure I've got a bunch of those. Got to have some carrots because they're healthy for you. And there you go. And you know, this is a comfort food meal, so we're not going to worry about dressing the plate beyond just putting a really good pot roast on there. Okay? Look good enough to eat?
Definitely.
Let's go have some.
All right.
So there you go. Cheater pot roast. Now let's go back through the cheats for a minute. First off, we used a broiling bag, right?
Right.
And that makes it a lot easier to deal with. We used the onion soup mix as our flavoring, which is very cool. And then we left the peas out until the very end and put those in just long enough to warm them up. Okay. And then our last cheat was that we sliced the bag open and put everything in that serving dish, make it easier to serve, right? Mm-hmm. So could you do that for yourself next time?
Definitely.
Great, you're on. We'll do that next week.
All right.
Okay. So this has been part of our Teen Girl Takeover series. I'm Lane. This is Giovanna. You've been in the Manly Kitchen, and y'all remember, play with your food.